A while back, we made a video about the Ku Klux Klan converting to Islam after KKK leaders learned that Islam was founded by a white prophet who bought, owned, sold, and traded black African slaves and hated Jews.
Everybody knows that the Virginia Democrats love to party in blackface. But what does any of this have to do with the Islam hotline?
Well, boy, I am pleased to announce that the Virginia chapter of the Ku Klux Klan has finally converted to Islam.
What? People said that the KKK are a bunch of Christians.
Yeah, Christians, LOL. A bunch of Christians who love to burn crosses and worship a Jew who ordered his followers to love everyone, even their enemies. You, sir, are hilarious. Truth is, we didn't know what to believe until we found the whitest prophet Allah has ever sent into this world. His companions testified that he was white with an elegant face. They referred to him as this white man and drew attention to his white complexion. They wanted us to know about the whiteness of his shins, and the whiteness of his thigh, and the whiteness of his leg, and the whiteness of his stomach, and the whiteness of his forearms, and the whiteness of his cheeks, and the whiteness of his armpits. I can just picture our beloved white prophet now. So beautiful, so white, so very, very white, especially his armpits.
After we posted that video, Vocab texted me and said, "You'll never guess what the KKK's handbook is called." It's called the Kloran, or Kloran. I'm not sure how they pronounce it. It's supposed to parallel the Koran, but with their Alabama accents, I imagine they would say Kloran. You can order the Kloran on Amazon. Let's read some of the description from Wikipedia. The Kloran, a portmanteau of Klan and Koran. A portmanteau is a combination of two words that combines their meanings. Brunch is the most common portmanteau I can think of. It's a portmanteau of breakfast and lunch. That's our vocabulary lesson for the day. The Kloran, a portmanteau of Klan and Koran, is the handbook of the Ku Klux Klan. Versions of the Kloran typically contain detailed descriptions of the role of different Klan members, as well as detailing Klan ceremonies and procedures. The letters KL were often used at the beginning of words to delineate a Klan association. Examples include Kloran, conversation for conversation, clavern for cavern or tavern, local branch or meeting place, clavaliers, etc. This differed from the practice of the Reconstruction Ku Klux Klan. Very little of the Reconstruction Klan's terminology was carried over, and that mostly titles for high officials in the organization. The leader of an individual clavern, for example, was an exalted cyclops. The original Kloran was written by William J. Simmons for his revived Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, circa 1915. He drew heavily on his previous experiences as a fraternalist. He was a member of many different lodges and had sold memberships in the woodmen of the world before deciding to revive the Klan. So, William J. Simmons decided to revive the Ku Klux Klan. Of all the books in the world he could have picked to name the handbook of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan after, he chose the Koran. Now, we know that, according to Islam's most trusted sources, Muhammad was whiter than a scoop of mayonnaise on a saltine cracker, and that Muhammad had numerous black slaves, and that he had sex with his slave girls, and that he referred to Ethiopians as raisin heads, and that he said that Satan looks like a black man, and that he prophesied that a black man would eventually destroy Islam's holiest site, the Kaaba, and that, under Sharia, the penalty for calling Muhammad a black man was death. We know that. Well, if you watch my videos, you know that. But I doubt that William J. Simmons knew that. The Islamic sources that give us this information hadn't been translated into English yet, and I seriously doubt the KKK had a team of Arabic scholars to explain Islam to them. It's more likely that someone like Simmons knew that whereas slavery had been abolished in the West, it was still alive and thriving in the Muslim world. and that he therefore wanted to pay homage to the book that kept race-based slavery alive and well. Or he might have known absolutely nothing about Islam and the Muslim world. Perhaps he simply noticed that he could modify the word Koran to get Kloran. Whatever the case may be, the KKK couldn't have selected a more perfect name for their handbook. Islam institutionalized black African slavery more than 1,000 years before the United States even existed. And black African slavery continued in the Muslim world long after it was abolished in the United States. Indeed, it continues even today in the Muslim world. 13 centuries before William J. Simmons became the Grand Wizard of the revived Ku Klux Klan, Muhammad became the Grand Wizard and Supreme Exalted Cyclops of Klislam, a clerigion that demands submission to Klala. To this day, Klislam's Grand Wizard continues clawing people to convert. Let's reject his claws for conversion. Let's turn that Kloran off.